Actually, this is what I'll do, because I want to make sure I get through this exam. And this exam, my first question is talking about the paranasal sinuses, so now we just jump to respiratory. So it's gonna jump a little bit. So, hopefully they're within this exam review sheet. Paranasal sinuses, how many we got?
4.
There's 4 paranasal sinuses. What's this one here?
Frontal.
Frontal. How about this one?
Maxillary.
Maxillary. How am I gonna point to the other? What are the other 2? Ethmoid and sphenoid. So we have frontal, maxillary, ethmoid, and sphenoid. Those are the 4 paranasal sinuses. They help with the sound of our voice, and they lighten up our skull and all that kind of stuff. But there's 4 of them. You have to find the exception. They're giving you all 4, but they say which one doesn't belong. Now we're moving air. So think of pressures, and one thing I do on tests, I draw pictures based on what the questions asks. So think pressures, or the question's referring to pressures. As we'll start with inhale. As I inhale, what's the pressure as I draw air in? What's the pressure in my thoracic cavity? Is it higher or lower than atmospheric pressure?
Lower.
It's lower, so air is drawing in. So inside of my thoracic cage, it's lower pressure, so air draws in. When I exhale, the pressure in my thoracic cage is increasing, so it's higher pressure here, lower pressure wherever I'm breathing into. I said that wicked quick. Want me to say it again?
Like low pressure, and I think like suction.
Yeah, low pressure suction.
When you're inhaling, it's science that kind of refers to low pressure, but it's pretty much like a vacuum.
Yeah, sucking it in. Suck it in. Blow it out. Cough it out. Now walk it out. Oh, gosh. Your trachea. What keeps your trachea opening? What keeps your trachea opened?
The cartilage, the C-shaped
Yeah,
cartilage.
the cartilage rings, those C rings. Oh gosh, I'm glad I did this. Cause I don't even know if I made this put this on the review sheet. Did anybody, well, you don't have to, let me look. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna show you this one. Yep. I mentioned it briefly, then I said, yeah, we don't have to worry about it. Oh, okay, thanks, Mike. Take a peek at this one. And we'll see if you could have got this. I think you would have got this based on the choices that you have. But I won't play around with this one. Oh, good. Hey, how do you like that? I mentioned surfactant briefly, and I said it does something with our alveoli. So it says alveoli from collapsing. So what could we cross off from here? Surfactant helps to prevent the alveoli from collapsing by warming the air before it enters?
No.
No, we're not in the alveoli there, we're way up here. Okay, protecting the surface of the alveoli from dehydration. You might thinking, yeah, maybe.
You could cross D off.
But what do you think The B would be like the macrophages that go around and engulf some things. Humidifying the air before it enters, no. So we could cross off A and D. I'm thinking all of you would have crossed off. The majority of you would have crossed off. Some of you would have crossed off. Sorry. A few of you would have crossed. No, I'm just being a wise guy. Would have crossed off A and D. Does anybody know the answer?
C, the
C.
surface tension.
I think that would have been a decent question, but when you see surfactant, I was like, oh my God, is that a G.I. Joe character? Like, no, it's
That was stupid, I guess.
yeah. It's like, I don't see G.I. Joe in there though. No, so it says interfering with the cohesiveness of water molecules, thereby reducing surface tension. The way I mentioned that, I mentioned the surface tension, and I was talking about surface tension pouring liquid into a glass, and it started to overflow. Before it overflows, it kind of bulges out of that glass because of that surface tension. So there, I feel better about that one. I don't know what number it will be on your version. People have done this in the past. They immediately go right to 4, they don't even read it, and they put C. It might not be choice C either, it might be scrambled to choice A, but the answer is interfering with the cohesiveness. That's the answer for that one. I'll see who messes that one up. All right, you want the rest of those?
Yep.
No. I was gonna be a wise guy and pull that off real quick, but I was like, oh, we got there's some people live streaming right now. All right, I feel better about that one. With our respiration, bringing air into and out of the lungs. I should show you some pictures of this too. Bringing air into and out of the lungs. What's the name of that respiration? We got a good slide of it. I just gotta find it. It showed you uppers and lowers, circular. Ah.
Okay. Oh, internal and external. I mean,
It refers to these terms right here. And I was saying respiration. Was I saying respiration?
yeah.
Yeah. Moves air into the lungs, moves air out, internal and external, pulmonary ventilation or external respiration. I'm gonna show you another picture where it shows you the gas exchange occurring. I think that was our second slide we did today. So we have pulmonary ventilation or external respiration. Oops. Right here. So as you bring that air in, your gas exchange is occurring between your alveolar tissue and those capillaries in your lungs. That's external respiration. And how do we get external respiration? External ventilation into and out of the lungs. Tidal volume. What the heck is that? Tidal volume, just watching TV, just normal breathing. Hopefully everybody's just TV breathing right now, tidal volume.
I was trying to figure out what the hell you said. What did he just say?
What'd he say? What did he just, I'm leaving. I can't believe he said that. Yeah, tidal volume. Approximately how many milliliters is it? 500. 100. All right. How about how many liters?
5.
That makes it a half a liter, generally. Is that the accepted number, value? Total maximum volume of air, inspired, expired. What capacity is that one?
Inspiration.
It's vital to,
Oh,
I
the
couldn't
vital
think of it. Vital
capacity.
capacity, yeah, that's that maximum inhale, maximum exhale. Or you can start the opposite, maximum exhale, maximum inhale. If I say respiratory centers, what two brainstem structures might you think of?
Pons and medulla oblongata.
Yep, pons and medulla, medulla and pons. Max and Ruby. Ruby and Max.
It's called pons medulla.
Yeah, or just pons, P-O-N-S, pons, and then medulla. The medulla oblongata. Ever see The Water Boy? There's something wrong with you. No. Mama said those crocodiles so hard because they got all those teeth and no toothbrush to brush them in. Oh gosh. Ooh. Okay. The lungs. General features or structures or what you're looking at with these lungs. What's a big difference between the left and the right? There could be a couple answers for this too. Just, yeah, we got 2 lobes and we have 3 lobes. Which side has 2 lobes?
The left side. The left side has 2, the right side has 3.
Left side's got 2, right side's got
3.
3. So it's good. What else do we have in the left side?
The cardiac notch and the hilum.
Cardiac notch. Both sides got that
the
hilum.
Okay.
But that cardiac notch, so left side's got 2 lobes, right side's got 3 lobes. Left side has that cardiac notch. And I'll end that one right there. There's a good distractor in here, but we never talked about it, so
In that one question about the,
lungs.
yeah.
Yeah, with that lung question, there's a decent distractor. But again, we didn't talk about that, so if we don't talk about it, don't pick it. Oh man, I've never heard this term before. Let's choose that as my correct answer. No, I do that. I already did that. We talked about the respiratory muscles, which ones will contract for a forced inhale or a forced exhale. We might have grouped them as accessory respiratory muscles, accessory muscles of inhalation. So if you're forcefully inspiring, expiring, a forceful inhale, what other muscles are we gonna use? We got scalenes, your pectoralis minor. You can really fire off those external intercostals. Forced exhale, what are we incorporating?
Diaphragm.
Diaphragm,
Internal intercostal.
internal intercostals, abdominal muscles. Nice. Ooh. This one, there's 2 good answers. I'm gonna say greatest. It's gonna say, okay, what number is that? 11? Gas exchange in your lungs. Where do we have the gas exchange?
In the alveoli.
At the alveoli, yeah. If you got a bunch of alveoli, what do you get? Alveolar sac. All right. But for our purposes, the greatest surface area for this gas exchange is going to occur in alveoli. Because one of them says alveolar sacs. Don't pick that one. Pick the alveoli. Because I was like, oh, alveolar sacs? Yeah, that's a big cluster of them. There's a lot of surface area. But just think an individual alveolus. That's, if you peel that apart, it's going to have a certain amount of surface area. You get a bunch of those same size, stick them together with a sack. There may be some overlap, is all I can think is why they chose that question. Everybody pick up on that one? What are you choosing for that one?
Alveoli.
Oh, okay, good. All right. We're going to inspire, so we're inhaling. And if there's any particles, say dust, yep. We inhale, doesn't matter, mouth, nose, maybe think trachea. What's in the trachea that helps get rid of particles? There could be multiple answers for this too.
The cilia or the
Yeah,
mucus.
that's a good one right there. Cilia in the trachea. We got the mucus lining as well. It's got that moist particles stick to it. So we got the cilia and trachea. We got the mucus in there.
The tracheal, that muscle that when you cough, right? That.
Oh, the trachealis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that muscle. That's for that forced expiration.
Mm-hmm.
But as we inhale, as we get those dust particles going down the cilia and that mucose layer, the mucus layer is going to help trap that stuff. Ooh, pressure and volume.
Inverse relationship.
It's an inverse relationship. One goes up, one goes down. Pressure, volume. Whose law was that? Boyle's law. What are the alveoli made up of? What type of tissue? Let's start this way. What basic type of tissue are the alveoli made up of?
Epithelium.
Yeah, simple squamous. What's simple squamous?
Epithelium.
Epithelial, yeah. Epithelial is a basic type. More specifically, simple squamous. That's what makes up those alveoli. Glad I did this. Well, I mean, they'd be exam apology points, but let's get rid of those darn things. I'm curious what you'd pick. I won't say nothing until you read it through. Take pictures of it too, please. That's why I'm showing this. I was rushing to get this stuff out. I used an old exam. This semester we would have talked about it more. All right. Kind of just fascinated. I'm drawn into the different colors transitioning. Conducting zone structure. So it's taking air from the outside and branching it down through before it gets to a respiratory zone. Before a respiratory zone.
So,
Any guesses
respiratory
on that one?
bronchial. Yeah.
It's before the respiratory.
Terminal
B.
bronchial.
B that's a conducting. So after bronchioles, trachea, primary bronchi, secondary, tertiary, bronchioles, you get smaller and smaller bronchioles. Eventually, you will rename a bronchiole to a terminal bronchiole. That's like the end of our conducting zone. Not that there's any kind of a wall there, but you go from that terminal bronchiole to a respiratory bronchiole, and that's where we can start having this gas exchange, or they consider that a respiratory area. Yeah, so there's that one.